Hey Stampers, Gaynor again. I'm coming back with a little swing fold card. I've seen them about, but I've never actually made one myself yet. So we're going to rectify that today. This is the card. It's just so sweet and adorable, and it says thank you friend, and then when you open the card it turns all the way around to say people like you make the world a better place. You've got a little space to write to and from, and I just thought it's so adorable. It does fold down to 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, so it will go inside a normal size envelope. Just absolutely brilliant. Isn't that cute? And I've added decoration here and here. Just think it's so adorable, and I've layered this up on black cardstock. I'm going to be layering the next one up on dark purple. You will need 2 pieces of these. Dark purple. This is the gorgeous grey. You'll need 2 of these, and these are 3 1/8 by 4, so it's 2 of those. You'll need 2 pieces of the designer series paper, and these measure, oops, is it 2 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then your card piece, this measures 5 7/8 by 6 3/4, and that's all you need. And here is the envelope. This is my envelope, and it does slide in here. Oops, and it's not catching. And I've still got a little bit of space up the top so I can fold. So it does fit in a UK envelope, and it will fit in the American style envelopes, and it stands up a treat. Isn't that lovely? I mean, you can open this quite wide, or you could leave it closed pretty close. It will when I get me whoops. There you go. And it will, like I say, quite wide open as well. So I'm going to make another one of these. Love it. So I am going to grab my trimmer. Excuse me. And right, where am I? I've got to get my brain ticking. I made this card about 2 days ago, and we've had the kids here, so now I'm just remembering what I've got to do to get. Oh, and you'll need 2 pieces of Whisper White as well, and they both measure. I've got to get those ready. 2 by 3. So I think I might be able to get it. Let's see if we can get 3 by 4, sorry. So let's make this. This is virtually 4, so we'll have 2 of those. No, I'm going to have one there. And one there. So they're my 3 by 2s. Right, I've got to put this in now at 1 1/4 inches. I'm going to do it on this side because I can get 1 1/4 on that side. And we're going to take our blade down . I wrote it down, I'm terrible. Four to 5 3/4, that's that one. 1 1/4 to 4 1/2. Right, we're going to pop this in, and we're going to put it in at 1 1/2, and we're going to cut it all the way down to 4 1/2. I'm going to take this out, flip it round, and do exactly the same. So 1 1/2 down to 4 1/2. Why doesn't that look equal? Oh, it does. It's my eyesight. And then I'm just going to go back in at 1 1/4. And we're going to go from 1 1/4 down to 2 3/4, and then we're going to lift it up. I will rejoin those, and we're going to come down to 4, and we're going to cut to 5 1/2, or is it 5 3/4? No, 5 1/2, just there, and I will join those up. I've come up a little bit higher, so 1 1/4, a little bit more, perfect now, and then this side. Just up to there, just so it's joining. And then we're going to flip this around, and we're going to do the same again. We're going to take this from 1 1/4 down to 2 3/4, lift it up. I'm going to join those back up, 4 all the way down to 5 1/2, and I'm going to go in and just connect those two lines, just to get them there. Tiny little bit of hold on there. Just gonna give that a little help in a hand. Perfect. And now we're going to be doing some scoring, and we're just going to do it on the outsides. Oh, I've got there, I can see it there. You want to just make these flaps pop. So I got a tiny little touch there. You could also use a craft knife here if you wanted to. My scissors do not want to go in there. Flipping it. Just snip. There we go. Just so we can release those bits of paper. Take your blade out the way now, and then we are going to score. We're going to put this in at 2 3/4 and score down to the score line. We're going to slide this across to 4 inches, and we're going to connect those, and then we're just going to flip it round, and we're going to do the same again. So I'm going to start with this one at 4, down to the 1 1/4, and then move this across to 2 3/4, and we're going to score that down to the 1 1/4 as well. So we're going to fold this one this way and this one this way. Grab our bone folders, and we can just burnish them, or you can flip and turn it around and do that with that. So then when we open the card, it flips like this, and it should be level. This one for some reason is poking over a little bit too much. So I can rectify that. I'm just going to push that there. And I'm just going to, let me move this out of the way for a second. I'm just going to pinch that paper up, and then I'm going to burnish that on them score lines in the right place. Flip it over and just burnish the score line. Perfect now. So now that you can't see it, and it's going to be a flip card. And it doesn't matter which way round at the moment you have it. So with the designer series paper, this is cut 1/4 inch all the way round shorter. So we're going to cut this section away, and we're going to repeat the process on that side. So again, with our trimmer, we're going to go in at 1 inch, and this piece is 3 1/8, so we're going to go down to, oh actually 2 3/4, sorry. Where am I looking? Oh, no, it's alright, I'm looking somewhere else. So this is 2 3/4, sorry, 2.5 by 5.5. I'm going to go in at 1 inch, and we're going to cut down to 1.5, and then we're going to slide this to 1 inch on this side, and we're going to cut down to 1.5, and then we're going to take this in at 1 inch, and from five and a half, sorry, 4.5 all the way up to 1, and then you can pull this piece out, and then that piece should layer in there beautifully. Oh, what's happened here? I don't think that designer series paper is quite long enough, because my card is, my card is too long. Let me just grab my tape measure. So that's 1 1/4 that side. That's 1 1/4 that side. Oops. Because this is 5 7/8, it should be 5 3/4 really. So now my gap is 3 5/8, and it should be 3 3/8. Let me just grab another piece of cardstock, because I want to make sure it's perfect for you. Give me, oh, I've got some right here. So 6 3/4. I will turn that into a card, but I will have to work out the DSP. 6 3/4. I don't want to give up on any of you, so I want to make sure this is perfect. So 5 3/4. Good. Hey, that was good having that piece of paper on there. So go in at 1 1/4. I'm going to keep it on that edge of that line there. I'm going to cut 1 1/4. Oh yeah, 1 1/4 there, yes, right there, 1 1/4. And I'm going to keep that up the top, down to 4.5. Because that gives me 1 1/4 either side now. So I'm going to take that out, flip it round right to the edge of the card. I'm going to put this in up to 1 1/4. Take that out, 1 1/4, and we're going to cut 1 1/4 to 2 3/4. Take it out, move it down to 4, and cut from 4 down to 5. And I felt them cut into the groove then, so that's a good thing. Again, we're going to go from 5.5 up to 4. Take it out, 2 3/4 up to that line. Don't worry if you get little marks, because with your bone folder you can literally take that line out, and there you go, pop first time. Remove your blade, and at 2 3/4 we're going to score down to 1 1/4. At 4 inches then we're going to score down to 1 1/4. I'm going to flip this round, and I'm going to do exactly the same, and 2 3/4 down there. Oh, I need to come down just a little fraction. And I need to just connect that score line up. So I'm I'm going to do that on here. Didn't quite take. Perfect. Oh, look at that now. Now that's fine. And then fold one back, and I got, see that little tiny there? I'm going to remove that manually. And that there. And before I press that down, I want that meeting up. Much, much better. Flip it over and burnish. So with that little tiny bit of an overhang there, it's my fault because you can never get the blade right back in the same spot. So I'm just going to neaten that up with the naked eye. And I'm going to have this as my back piece. So then this is going to open up like this. And just going to pop that to one side again for a minute. And make sure that's straight. And burnish. Beautiful. That's so much better. Now this piece I've just cut, there we go, fits there beautifully. So do check your card before you cut. Mine should have been 5 3/4, and all that just from 2/8, not even 1/8 of an inch even. So again, we're going to repeat the same process, and I'm going to pop this in at 1 inch, and they're going to cut down to, what's this now? 2.5. Let me measure the gap. 2.5. So 1 inch going in, from 1 inch down to 1.5. Take this in 1 inch, and we're going to cut that all the way down to 1. And then I'm going to go in at 1 inch, and we're going to cut from 1 down to 4.5. And oh look, tiny little connection. Perfect. And you can keep those pieces for another card. And they were 2 3/4, 2.5 by 5.5. You could also add layers here if you wanted, but I don't see the point when that fits in there beautifully. Yay! I will adjust my paper size, and I will cut 2 more strips, and this will be turned into another card. So this, I will make the mine 2 7/8. And now we can just glue those into place. Oh, I knew I'd done, you know when you just know you've done it before. I hadn't checked my card stock for some reason. So just add your glue. But it's nice to go back to all the videos from after watching the album last week for hours on end. Beautiful. Grab your bone folder, just make sure that's nice and adhered down. And then we can add this piece. Perfect. Because it's a non-directional paper as well, I think it's just going to look absolutely beautiful. Wait there. Lift it back up quick. Just want to make sure that's nice and straight. That's better. Beautiful. Oh, the gap is there, it's perfect now. So whilst you're here, you can flip this over to add your layers. You may have to trim that. Oh no, that looks pretty good to me. I'm just going to take a slither off this side because I want a little gap. I'm one of these because I like small gaps, small borders. And you get a lot of people that do 1/4 inch border. So when that goes on there, that's better. I've got a lovely healthy little border now either side. Perfect. So I can glue that down. So I've got a nice border now, top and bottom, and at the front. And then we can flip this round. Well, that's why. And then we can flip this open, and we're going to add our other piece. I'm just going to take a little slither off that as well. And now that measures 3. Ah, it was over, that's why. Oh, we're going to have to take it off the white as well then, because that was supposed to be 3 1/8. But I've got a little bit of a healthier border now, so we're going to trim down the white as well. I used black on the other card, and I wish I'd just added an extra contrasting colour like this. But it's done now. Nice little border, even top and bottom on both sides. That is beautiful. So there's your card, and it flips open. I think it's so cute. So let's just check. Yeah, they're the same width now. I'm going to take these down to 2 7/8. And they're by 3 7/8. Perfect. There's my tiny little border. Oh, I love it. So 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And there's those. And there are your pieces for the front and the flip back. So we're going to do some stamping before we add them. And I'm using the needlepoint nook again. Love this stamp set, it's just adorable. And I used the flower on the front and the scroll, the butterflies and thank you friend. And on the flip side, I used the stamp set, people like you make the world a better place. And then add some flourishes and some more butterflies just to give a little surprise element for when we flip this over. So let's get these into place. I do have my black for my sentiments, and I want to concentrate on the sentiments first. And that one I had it at the top, at the bottom, and we're going to put this one at the top. So my thank you friend. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Clear my cloth. I've been using yellow ink today with Frankie. He's hilarious. He asked me if he could make a watch, or I could make him a watch, and I said, I tell you what, Nanny's going to give you some pen and paper. You draw the watch and Nanny, you draw the watch and Nanny will cut it out for you. Oh, he was in his oils. Bless his little soul. So, in goes our inner sentiment. Perfect. It's got a new top on, look, it's got lovers all over it. It's actually, I'm saying a top, it's actually a new nightie. Well, pyjama top it is. I'm always in pyjama jams. So I've got my swirls and my flowers. I've got my leaves, my butterflies, my other butterflies. I have got Balmy Blue, Highland Heather, Granny Apple Green and Mango Melody. And I'm going to start with the framework. For this, I think this is just an adorable swirl of dots. And I just love it. So I'm going to add one. I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to add it one down the bottom and the other one at the top on this. And isn't that beautiful? And on the, I'm going to add this over, because I got it on the back here. You can't really see it much, so I'm going to do it over my sentiment. Look at that now, that looks so much nicer. Just beautiful. And don't really think about adding shapes whilst we have our colours. So now for my leaves. I'm using the Granny Apple. I love this set. I just absolutely adore it. So I'm going to pop, and I'm going to have this here. Mind you, I want to see it, so just going to have that added down the bottom. Perfect. Love it, love it, love it. And I chose the Mango Melody for my next colour for the flower. You could have it purple, it's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to line this up, make sure it goes, and that's perfect. And that is going to go right down there. Oh, that is beautiful. That's quite pale actually, it's turned out quite pale. So I'm not going to chance going over it, because knowing my luck, I'll have a shadowed effect. And then I'm going to finish off with a few little dots of these beautiful butterflies. It's the dotted outline. I have one on here as well. I'm not going to add too much on this, the inner piece, because I want to leave a little space for you to write. But how cute! And then the actual solid butterflies, these cluster of 3, they're so cute. They will get hidden behind the flat, but it doesn't really matter. That is so cute. And I'm just going to pop them about there. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is going to go on the back of the card. And you're thinking, back? Yay! You could definitely the back. You could add it on dimensionals, but I find that it's just perfectly fine, just glued down. So again, giving yourself that nice little border all the way around. Perfect. And then this is going to be the card that you'll see whilst it's laying down flat, like that. So we're going to just flip this over. So simple, you could knock these out really quickly. Like I say, you could use a crafting knife if you've got sharp skills, and a nice long metal ruler. Just balance it evenly in the middle. There's my bone folder gone. There it is, hiding. Beautiful. And then just flip that back over, and there is the front of your card. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous is that? Just going to grab a few rhinestones, pop one in the centre of my flower, and in the centre of each of these butterflies, just perfection. One more thing, after 3, wink of Stella. I love wink of Stella. So I'm just going to dot a flower, and it actually looks as if it's brightening it up a little bit. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Add some twinkle on those tiny little butterflies. And then spin this over. And I'm even going to add one more rhinestone to the back, because it's separate from the front. And I'm just going to pop a little rhinestone on there as well. So there is that beautiful swing card. Absolutely stunning. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You could attach a bow. I haven't got my... I put my ribbons away, but you could attach a little ribbon there and tie it round the corner into the bottom or up the top. That would look beautiful, but that does definitely fit now inside. They're both exactly the same. So this is the one we've just made together. This is the one I did a couple of days ago, where before Frankie and Lola arrived. But isn't that beautiful? Love it. So there we go. There's those 2 swing cards. Absolutely beautiful, with the needle and thread. And it's getting really close now to pre-order for the new catalogue, and I can't wait. So, ooh, eek, eek, eek. I'm going to be grabbing my orders, because my beautiful husband has told me, just go to town. He's marvellous. I love him so much. So, I would love a thumbs up and a share. That would be amazing. I'd also would really appreciate it if you would press the subscribe button. And if you enjoy what you saw and want notifications, please don't forget to press the little bell. I do post every single day, God willing, and I will see you all tomorrow. Till next time, bye.